Is your car handling with lately? Maybe you're hearing strange clunks or noticing uneven tire wear. It might be a bad control arm ball joint, and trust me, it's more dangerous than it sounds. In this video, we're breaking down 10 ways a bad control arm ball joint can seriously affect your car. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on more car maintenance tips. Now, let's jump right in. First of all, what is a control arm ball joint? A control arm ball joint is a vital component of your car's suspension system that connects the control arms to the steering knuckles. It allows for smooth up and down motion of the suspension as well as the pivoting movement required for steering. Think of it as a flexible hinge that absorbs the stresses of the road while maintaining control of your wheels. These ball joints are typically encased in a protective boot and filled with grease to reduce friction and wear. Now, let's know the 10 ways bad control arm ball joints can affect your car. Number 1. Unstable steering and poor handling. When control arm ball joints begin to wear out, your car's steering becomes noticeably loose or unstable, especially at higher speeds. The joint no longer keeps the wheels firmly aligned, allowing them to wiggle or shift slightly during turns or lane changes. This looseness makes it harder to maintain a straight line while driving, requiring constant corrections on the steering wheel. You might feel like the car is wandering or swaying, even on smooth roads. These symptoms make driving more stressful and increase the risk of losing control in emergency situations. Since the ball joint is a pivot point, its failure disrupts the precision steering geometry built into your car. Without this precision, your vehicle no longer responds predictably to your steering input. This issue is particularly dangerous in rain or when trying to make quick maneuvers. Ultimately, bad ball joints compromise your ability to safely guide the car. Number 2. Clunking or popping noises. One of the most noticeable symptoms of a bad control arm ball joint is a clunking or popping noise coming from the front suspension. This noise typically occurs when going over bumps, potholes, or uneven terrain. It happens because the worn-out joint becomes loose in its socket, allowing excessive movement that causes metal components to knock against each other. The noise may start off subtle and gradually become louder as the ball joint deteriorates further. Sometimes, these sounds are more prominent during turns or when braking suddenly, depending on the direction of the stress applied. Ignoring these noises can lead to catastrophic failure of the joint, possibly resulting in a loss of wheel control. It's important to differentiate this sound from other suspension issues like bad struts or sway bar links. Consistent clunking is a clear sign that the ball joint is no longer secure. Early detection can prevent more severe damage or costly repairs. Number 3. Uneven tire wear. A failing control arm ball joint affects the wheel alignment, causing uneven tire wear patterns that are easy to overlook until it's too late. As the joint wears out, it no longer holds the wheel at the correct angle, leading to increased wear on one side of the tire. Over time, this results in bald spots, feathering, or cupping on the tire tread. This type of wear not only reduces the lifespan of your tires but also affects your vehicle's traction and braking distance. Uneven tire wear also causes the car to pull to one side, further degrading your handling experience. You might find yourself constantly correcting the steering just to stay straight on the road. Replacing tires without addressing the underlying ball joint issue will only offer a temporary fix. In the long run, this can become a recurring expense that eats into your maintenance budget. Tire inspection can often reveal early signs of ball joint problems before other symptoms appear. Number 4. Vibration in the steering wheel. Another common effect of a bad control arm ball joint is vibration in the steering wheel while driving, especially at moderate to high speeds. This vibration occurs because the ball joint no longer maintains a tight connection between the suspension and the steering knuckle. As a result, the wheel wobbles or shakes, transmitting that motion through the steering column and into your hands. You may also feel a pulsing sensation when cornering or during slight steering corrections. In some cases, the vibrations may become more intense as the joint deteriorates further. This not only makes for an uncomfortable drive but also distracts you from focusing on the road. Persistent vibrations can also cause fatigue during long drives and wear out other steering components prematurely. The vibrations may feel similar to unbalanced tires or warp brake rotors, but replacing those won't help if the ball joint is the real culprit. Getting a proper diagnosis is crucial. Number 5. Excessive vehicle bouncing. Worn-out ball joints can no longer provide the support needed to dampen road shock, resulting in excessive bouncing when driving. Normally, the ball joint works with the suspension to absorb shocks from bumps or dips in the road. When it fails, the system loses its ability to stay planted, causing the vehicle to bounce more than usual after hitting a bump. You might feel like your car is floating or see it bobbing up and down longer than normal. This is not only uncomfortable but also dangerous because it affects how well your tires stay in contact with the road. Poor road contact compromises traction and braking, particularly during emergency stops or when driving on wet or uneven surfaces. Excessive bouncing can also wear out other suspension parts like struts and shocks faster than expected. This bounce-related instability is especially noticeable when carrying passengers or cargo. Over time, ignoring this symptom can turn a simple fix into a more expensive repair job. Number 6. Pulling to one side while driving. When a ball joint wears unevenly or fails on one side of the car, it can cause the vehicle to pull to that side during normal driving. This happens because the suspension geometry is no longer symmetrical, throwing off wheel alignment. The steering wheel may feel off-center or require constant adjustment to keep the vehicle straight. This condition increases driver fatigue and reduces overall driving safety. You may notice that the car drifts even on flat roads, which can be particularly hazardous in traffic or at high speeds. Uneven pulling not only leads to poor handling but also contributes to uneven tire wear and reduced fuel efficiency. It may seem like an alignment issue, but if caused by a bad ball joint, realignment won't fix the core problem. Eventually, the pulling will worsen as the joint further deteriorates. Diagnosing and replacing the failing ball joint can restore proper alignment and improve road safety significantly. Number 7. Steering wheel misalignment. A bad ball joint can cause your steering wheel to sit crooked, even when driving in a straight line. This misalignment occurs because the ball joint is no longer keeping the wheel in the correct position, altering the angles needed for proper alignment. It may feel like you're steering slightly off-center all the time or that your car resists going where you intend it to. Over time, this creates unnecessary strain on the steering mechanism and increases the risk of fatigue and overcorrection while driving. A misaligned steering wheel can also confuse advanced driver assist systems like lane keeping assist or adaptive cruise control. Drivers often try to live with it, but this is a sign of deeper issues in the suspension system. Correcting it requires more than just adjusting the alignment. It may involve replacing worn ball joints and rechecking suspension geometry. Addressing this early can help avoid long-term mechanical damage and ensure a more confident driving experience. Number 8. Increased braking distance. Bad control arm ball joints can lengthen your stopping distance by affecting how well the tires stay planted on the road during braking. Because the suspension system is compromised, the weight of the vehicle is not properly transferred during sudden stops. This uneven force distribution can cause one tire to lift slightly or lose traction, reducing braking efficiency. You may also feel the car nosedive excessively or veer slightly to one side when applying the brakes. In critical moments, this can mean the difference between stopping in time and hitting an obstacle. If the ball joint fails completely under hard braking, the wheel may shift unexpectedly, leading to loss of control. Brake components like rotors and pads may also wear unevenly due to the erratic suspension behavior. Maintaining strong, responsive braking requires a stable suspension foundation. Replacing worn ball joints ensures your braking system performs as designed, providing the shortest and safest stopping distance possible. Number 9. Suspension misalignment and component damage. Worn control arm ball joints can throw the entire suspension system out of alignment, which leads to excessive strain on other components. As the joint becomes loose, it allows the wheel to move in ways it's not supposed to, which impacts the bushings, tie rods, shocks, and even the control arm itself. This misalignment leads to creaking or grinding sounds and accelerates wear across the suspension. The added movement also increases friction in areas that aren't designed to handle it, leading to heat buildup and material fatigue. You may also start noticing more body roll or sway during turns, making the car feel less responsive and secure. Suspension damage often snowballs. What starts as a worn ball joint can quickly lead to broken or bent parts. Repair costs multiply as more components are affected. Replacing the ball joint early on prevents unnecessary damage and keeps your suspension operating smoothly and reliably. Number 10. Complete loss of control if the ball joint fails. In extreme cases, a severely worn or broken ball joint can completely separate, causing total loss of control of the affected wheel. This catastrophic failure typically happens during high-stress moments like sharp turns, sudden braking, or hitting a pothole. When the ball joint fails, the control arm drops, the wheel may collapse inward, and the tire could jam against the wheel well or fall off alignment entirely. At this point, you lose all steering input from that wheel, making the vehicle uncontrollable. This kind of failure often leads to severe accidents and major vehicle damage. Emergency towing is usually required, and repairs can be extensive and expensive. The risk of such a failure increases the longer a bad ball joint goes unreplaced. Warning signs like clunking noises, poor handling, or uneven tire wear should never be ignored. Proactive replacement ensures your car remains safe, especially at high speeds or in challenging driving conditions. Your ball joints may be small, but they play a big role in your car's safety. If you've noticed any of these signs, get your suspension checked immediately. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Drive safe.